Alright guys, so today we just did a little experiment with trying to make kinetic sand. So in this bowl, it's not pretty, it's got a little bit too much water in it, but I've got a mixture of paver sand with cornstarch, water, and dish soap. Um, so it's definitely not quite how I wanted it to be, but mainly just because I think I put too much water in it and not enough sand and cornstarch. So next time I'll just try to limit those. So anyways, let's just kind of talk about what's going on with this experiment. So kinetic sand is one of many phenomenons in science that is not only amusing but also pretty mesmerizing. So the reason that I say that is because it can be molded like clay, but also be kind of silky to the touch and kind of have like a rubbery feel to it. So silicone is what this kind of mimics. So silicone doesn't refer to just one specific type of material, but rather a group of materials that contain silicone and oxygen. So silicones are what we would call polymers, and polymers are made up of a long chain of compounds. Well, not really compounds, but long chain of repeated units. The silicone oils have unique properties in which they can be liquids that flow freely, or they can also be semi-solids that flow slowly in absence of pressure. So right now there's no pressure in it, and it can still flow freely, but it's moving a lot slower than if I were to stir it. So this, like I said earlier, this can also act like a rubbery substance. When it's under stress, it can act like a rubbery substance. So this characteristic that I have just explained is something called viscoelasticity. A substance's viscoelasticity depends on the length of the chains. So in kinetic sand, the polymer chains within the silicone oil make the sand particles stick together, so that you can form them into kind of a ball. But, however, the ball will eventually flatten over time. So the silicone oil coated sand particles only stick to each other, and it doesn't stick to any other surfaces. So this is a pretty cool experiment. Like I said, I probably had too much water and soap in it when I should have added a little bit more sand and cornstarch. I kind of tried to fix it a little bit, and I did, because it was just like soup, so I did fix it a little bit, although it still is just like a thick soup now. So next time I'll try to add a little bit less of that water and soap, and maybe just a little bit more, sand. The cornstarch really helped with just thickening everything, making it kind of powdery, and then the water just helped us with our viscoelasticity, like we explained. And then that soap is just going to help it just kind of keep it from sticking to other surfaces and just kind of sticking together. But you can do this experiment with, like I said, I use paver sand, or you can buy, some people use colored sand. You can even use it from the sand that you can grab from the beach. Either way, this is a fun experiment that you can do and learn a lot about. You can learn a lot about silicone oils with this, and just the way that they act, and you can learn a new term if you don't really know what viscoelasticity is. So that was definitely something that I learned that was new, and I really enjoy learning about it actually.